This week we're making blackberry chaffles, so let's get started. Okay, so this week's recipe starts with 2 eggs, 2/3 of a cup of finely chopped mozzarella cheese. We've got about 2 tablespoons of softened cream cheese. We've got a teaspoon of this Swerve brown sugar substitute just to give it some more sweetness, and I've got some fresh blackberries here that we're going to mix into the batter. So we'll start off with our eggs. This is going to start off just like a regular chaffle recipe. We are using 2 eggs though because we're adding some volume. So we'll add the cheese in and give that a quick mix. I like to chop my mozzarella cheese up nice and fine, makes it easier to mix into the eggs. Just takes a couple of stirs there. So then we'll add our softened cream cheese. Again, this is roughly 2 tablespoons. And all we're really gonna do is try and break that up a little bit. Okay, so we've got our cream cheese mixed in pretty well. It doesn't have to be completely smooth. You can leave some chunks in there, the nice surprise in the chaffles. So we're gonna add our sweetener in. You can use the sweetener of your choice, obviously. I just like this brown sugar Swerve. Just to give it a little bit more sweetness. You know, you could add in some vanilla extract if you wanted to, but we're just trying to keep it fairly simple here. So now we're gonna add in some of these blackberries. I could put in about 5 of them just to start. And then we're going to try and break these up into the mixture as well, as best you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so we've got the blackberries mixed in pretty well. There's still some chunks, but that's fine. Be a nice little sweet pocket in the chaffles. So I was a little bit worried about with how thin the batter is. Just because of the blackberries, they added a fair bit of moisture to the chaffles, and as we all know, moisture is your enemy when it comes to chaffles. So just added about 3/4 of a tablespoon of this beef gelatin into the mix, and then we'll just give that one more quick mix. I like to do this now because then that'll give me a few minutes for it to set up a little bit while we warm up the Dash multi-maker waffle irons. The beef gelatin needs a few minutes to set up before you start cooking. So our waffle irons are all preheated here. Get those opened up, and then we'll start adding our mix, which as you can see has thickened up quite a bit because of that beef gelatin. So we'll just get roughly 3 tablespoons into each waffle iron here. I still overfill waffle irons all the time, so don't feel bad if you put too much batter in there. I still do it pretty much every time. Just try and cover the bottom a little, mostly, and then when you close the top lid of the waffle iron, it'll spread it out the rest of the way. So we'll start these cooking and come back when they're done. Okay, so our first 2 blackberry chaffles are done here. Took around 5 minutes to cook. They are still very soft, so you want to be careful getting them out of the waffle irons. We weren't looking for crispy chaffles this time, so We'll set these aside on a wire rack and let them cool a little bit. I like to put them on a wire rack so that they don't get soggy. So there's the second one, nice and golden brown. So we'll load up the waffle irons again. We are going to get 4 chaffles out of this mix. Bonus chaffles are always welcome when we make these videos. You know, nothing's better than 2 chaffles than 4 chaffles as far as I'm concerned. So let's put the rest of this mix into the waffle irons so that we can get these cooked up. Now, the color of them when you first start cooking them, you know, may not be really appealing, but that's just the color of the blackberries. They do actually turn out pretty nice when they're done. So just spread that one out a little bit and then close up the waffle irons. And again, this will be another 5 minutes or so to cook. I'll get these last 2 out here and set them aside onto our wire rack just to cool off a little bit. And they tend to thicken up a little bit cooling because as you can see, they're really soft to start with. Okay, so here's our finished product. Smells really good. Obviously just put some whole blackberries on top for the glamour shot there. As you can see, they're mixed in really well in the chaffles. Really happy with how these turned out. You could add some butter on them or some cream cheese just to add some flavor. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Keep on thriving, my friends.